Mercury in the houses answers a simple but profound question: where does the mind stay active? Not what you think, not how intelligent you are, but which area of life continuously demands analysis, explanation, and attention. Where Mercury sits, the mind does not rest, it observes, it evaluates. It keeps returning. This comes from karmic experience, lifetimes where that area of life required mental alertness to survive. Mercury in houses reveals where thinking became necessary. In karmic astrology, houses represent life arenas: family, work, identity, relationships, security. When Mercury occupies a house, the soul learned that this arena could not be navigated blindly. Mistakes had consequences, words mattered, decisions had to be calculated, so the mind stayed awake. This does not mean obsession, it means training. Mercury in houses is mental conditioning carried forward, not personality, not preference. In some houses, Mercury learned that speech was protection, explaining prevented conflict, clarifying reduced risk. In other houses, planning became survival, thinking ahead avoided loss. And in some houses, silence itself became intelligence, observation replaced reaction. These patterns did not form randomly, they formed because life demanded them. Mercury remembers what worked. A common misunderstanding is to assume Mercury in a house means interest there. It does not. It means mental responsibility. The mind feels accountable for outcomes in that house, so it interferes, monitors, corrects. This is why people often overthink the house of Mercury, not because they love it, but because they learned they could not afford to ignore it. Mercury also shows where life becomes mentally narrated, conversations replay, decisions are re-examined, alternate outcomes are imagined. This narration is not weakness, it is karmic vigilance, but vigilance becomes burden when the mind never disengages. The lesson of Mercury in houses is not to stop thinking, but to know when thinking is no longer required. When Mercury matures, the mind learns proportion, it stays alert where needed, and releases control where it is no longer useful. This is evolution. The same Mercury that once overmanaged life becomes a precise instrument. Awareness replaces anxiety. Presence replaces rehearsal. This is how karmic pressure dissolves. Observe your Mercury house carefully. Where do you mentally interfere the most? Where do you feel responsible for explaining, fixing, or predicting outcomes? That is not flaw, that is memory. When you stop judging that reflex, the mind softens. Mercury does not need suppression, it needs permission to rest. Mercury in houses teaches a quiet lesson: thinking was once protection, now it must become choice. You are not here to abandon the mind, you are here to stop letting it run unattended. When Mercury serves awareness instead of fear, life flows with less resistance. This is how mental karma completes its cycle. The house of Mercury is where the soul asks, do I still need to stay on guard here? Often, the answer is no, but habits persist longer than danger. Recognizing this is liberation. The mind relaxes, and life regains simplicity. Mercury in the houses does not bind you, it informs you, it shows where awareness is needed, and where overthinking can finally be released. This is not about becoming less intelligent, it is about becoming mentally free, and freedom is the true completion of karma. Welcome to Karmic Scripts.